Do you ever wonder why the people at the very top take all of the benefits and all of the rewards, and the people below are just there to scrape for the scraps? Well, this is why. It's because there's a huge difference. There's really only two different types of business owners, but there's a huge difference between both of them. Okay, and I'm going to share with you how to scale your business to 8 figures using this mentality. Okay, because this is how the richest man in the world at one point, Sam Walton, scaled his business to almost $1 trillion now. Right? This is how you do it better than anybody else. This is how you do it quicker than anybody else, and this is how you can contain that scalability and that predictability forever. This is how you scale your business the Sam Walton way. Okay? There's two types of business owners. We have promoters, and then we have operators. And promoters are people who are continually in promotion, and they continually just send out promotions trying to get a little bit of traction here and there. And then the operators are people who are outside of their business and operate it from the top down. Okay? And to be an 8-figure business, to be a 9-figure brand, you have to get to the place where you're an operator. And it's not bad to be a promoter, but you're going to be working inside of your business forever if you never make that jump to operator. Okay? So Sam Walton started Walmart as a promoter. He started hiring front of shop acts like clowns and things to get people in the door. He tried just about everything and was hustling to get people into his business. He invested heavily in like signage and advertising and stuff like that, local stuff to try and get people in the door, and it was just about traffic. Does that sound familiar? So he was promoting like his life depended on it, because kind of did at that point. But he scaled the business as an operator. So once he saw some success, once he was doing, the most business of any other store like his in town, he scaled the business as an operator. And instead of just sticking in promotion and continually working his tail off every single day and staying in the business for 16 hours a day and continually just sending people there with these, gimmicky type things, he scaled the business and moved himself out of it and actually moved it up as an operator, not a promoter. He didn't become the richest man in the world through just this signage and promotion and these clowns and stuff. He scaled the business through operations. And this is what we have to do as well. See, so knowing the business inside and out is going to do you a lot more good than like knowing how to write a sales letter or knowing how to run ads or all this like tactical kind of technical stuff, right? If you can set up a funnel, that's great, but that's not going to make your business successful, and that's not going to give you a successful business to 8 or 9 figures. So you have to know the accounting, you have to know the management, you have to know the structuring, you have to know how to build a team. You have to know all of these types of things to actually move up to that next level in your business. So a lot of guys, they see some success at, the $500,000 to $1 million a year mark. And you can get there being a promoter and by really sticking with things. And a lot of the times I see that type of success that these guys get at that 500 to $1 million, but then they keep the same mentality to get from $1 million to 10. And it's a completely different skill set, unfortunately. But the good news for you is that if you know that, it's a lot easier for you to do it because nobody else is doing it. These promoters who are just trying to get traffic into their business, they see some success doing that promotion, and then they think, okay, well, I'm doing this right now and it's got me to $1 million. If I just multiply it by 10, then I'm going to get $10 million. And that's never how it works. And I'm sure that you know that if you're watching this video. And so the way that we do that is we take the business as an operator, and we know it inside and out, and instead of just trying to expand to a bunch of different things, we optimize the business from the inside out, and we get continually like minute but huge lever wins inside of the business to actually move it forward. So instead of sticking in expansion, instead of sticking in just traffic mode all the time, we optimize small levers in the business that make a huge impact in the business. So we're growing the business from the inside out. And the only way that we'll ever be able to know that is by A, hiring somebody to show us how to do it, or B, turning into an operator, turning into somebody who knows the accounting of the business inside and out, turning into somebody who knows the management of the business inside and out, or the structuring and the team inside and out. The operations are where you grow. Once you have enough people coming to you and giving you money, you have to start optimizing. You have to start optimizing when you see some success. And if you see some success with what you're doing right now, the process that got you successful, you need to first optimize it before you start doing a ton of other, like a bunch of different other things, basically. So a lot of the times I see guys that they get to that success, they're teetering on that $500,000 a year mark, and then they just start throwing money at the wall. And they hire all these experts and these, agencies to get them some scale, and that scales them for a little bit, But then everything crumbles back down when they stop paying these guys and it's not lasting success or anything like that. The operations of the business is actually where you grow. So this can be marketing optimization, financial optimization, management or structuring optimization. However you want to optimize the business to make it more successful and more streamlined is where you're actually going to see that inside out growth. Instead of the, hey, we have some success here, now let's add a bunch of stuff on top of it. That's not what you want. You want a business that's here, that's in a nucleus, and you continually expand that nucleus out. And so it's the most stable, predictable, consistent scaling method possible that's going to get you the returns that you're looking for without blowing a bunch of time, but without blowing a bunch of money, without expending a bunch of energy or paying a ton of experts to help you get the success that you're looking for. The operations are where you grow in the business. Ads and tech, all that, one piece of a huge puzzle. And the people who focus on the front end just forever are always going to be working inside of that business. And they're always going to be a slave to those promotions and the ads that they get some success and then it pulls back. And they get some success and it pulls back. When we grow from the inside out, we never get that pull back. It's all just forward. And the levers that we move stay there forever. Right? So, if you want to hit 8 figures, you need to focus on optimization. You need to focus on looking at your business from the inside out and growing it that way. Instead of seeing some success, teetering on that $500,000 to $700,000 a year mark, and then adding a bunch of things on top of it. And if you don't optimize it, if you don't have a stable, consistent base that you're predictably getting cash flow through, then you're just going to have a skeleton of a business. And that's fine. Again, that can get people to $1 million a year. But when you try to add anything on top of that and get some scale on top of that, it's going to be like running a tank over that skeleton of a bridge of a business that you've made. And you're not going to have the resources, the ability to actually handle that scale that you're looking for. And when you expand on top of that, you're going to spend most of your time trying to rebuild those businesses after those tanks go over it, and you see a little bit of success, but then you got to rebuild. You got to go back. You got to hire somebody else. You got to fix what broke. You got to do this and all that, and you're going to be working in it continuously, and you're never going to have the time to actually focus on growing the business. And you're just going to stick as a promoter. So if you want to move to that next level, if you want to move to an operator instead of just a promoter, then you have to understand the business inside and out and start optimizing, and then you can expand. Okay, so I hope that gave you some clarity. I hope that helped out just a little bit.